You need, hey everybody, welcome to the Prep Life Podcast. This is your founder and CEO of Glam Girl Bikini, Amy Enger, and today I'm joined by my fabulous co-host, Lee Marie Hostetter. Hey Lee, how's it going?
Hey, it's going great.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll just get right into this topic. I'm reading the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and I really liked kind of the theme of every chapter ending with a challenge. And I thought, okay, let's relate this to the prep life, see
Mhm.
how we can kind of give our listeners some like empowerful or like powerful applications when it comes to, being mentally prepared, going through the physical demands of prep, which, if you know anything about David Goggins, he's a Navy SEAL, ex-Navy SEAL, ultra marathoner, goes through a lot of pain and pushes through a lot of pain.
Mhm.
One thing I thought was interesting is that most people only reach 40% of their potential, and they
David.
have
Yep.
60% more to push. I mean, if you can imagine that, that's insane that that you're only hitting the tip of the iceberg, in my opinion, if you're only hitting 40% of your true potential. So, yeah, are you ready? Do you have any thoughts or like, do you have any thoughts about David Goggins before we get started
I
on these
I just thought
steps?
this was such a timely topic to dive into. I know most of my clients and probably a lot of our listeners are in that point of prep where they're kind of coming up on their first shows of the season and things are getting tough. And so having a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of like hacks and motivation and encouragement is like a really timely time to talk about this topic. So I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah, and man, that book's a little heavy. Like if you read his childhood and his upbringing and everything. So, challenge number one, it kind of goes by like chapter. What's your bad hand? What was the bad hand you were dealt? And let me tell you, he was dealt a bad hand, especially with his father, when he was growing up. And so, the prep application to that would be just own your story, whether it's genetics, age, past failures, the self-doubt that you have, external critics that you have around you. Don't play the victim. Don't be like, "Oh, I'm too old to do well," or I've never, started bodybuilding until I was 59 or 60. You can't do that. You can't use it. Everybody has a struggle. Everybody has a hard, like, you know, I know I've talked about this in past podcasts, but it's like I could say, oh, I've had a hypothyroidism before I started competing, and that's going to slow down my metabolism, and that's going to like, inhibit my ability to build muscle. Everybody has a hard, like, there's something, whether it's you have like, I don't know, a gluten intolerance, like an autoimmune disease, whatever your limitations, I think we've all learned from watching Charla what's possible,
Mhm.
and things like that. People like that where they just inspire us. I mean, people like Whitney Jones, where she had a broken neck and overcame that, and rest in peace. And she's such a great ambassador of the sport. She was the creator of My First Suit and CJ from CJ's Elite. She just recently passed away, unfortunately. But I mean, she, as an IFBB pro, was in a wheelchair, didn't think she would ever walk, and created the wheelchair division, and like went on to do so many great things throughout her lifetime. So I just don't think, like everybody's got a barrier, everybody's got a hard. So just know your hand and don't let that be an excuse for you, is the best way that I can put that as your challenge.
I love it. Okay, challenge number two, the accountability mirror. This is a great one for prep. So our prep application is every day, look in the mirror and be brutally honest. Are you truly giving 100%? Are your macros tight? Are you tracking every single thing? Like when you're in prep, it gets almost ridiculous. We track sticks of gum. Guys, it is
I'm
crazy.
just gonna say go.
Those little things add up when we're making tiny changes, and the tighter you are with your nutrition and your macros, the more precise you are, the smaller changes are going to have bigger impact than if you have a lot of factors that you're not tracking. So, are you really training hard? Are you doing every rep with intention, or are you just counting through your sets? Are you really focusing on the sets that are supposed to go to failure? Are you reaching technical or muscle failure? The reps that are in the middle, your warm-up sets, your middle sets. Are you actually focusing on every rep? Are you thinking about the muscle that you're supposed to be using? Are you tracking your rest times? Are you on your phone at the gym, or are you focused? Are you putting intention in with your cardio? Are you focusing on getting your sleep? And then tips are to put sticky notes on your mirror with goals, affirmations, and truths to keep you dialed in.
Yeah, it's funny that we are talking about this just because I have a client right now that I'm thinking of that she's been taking pictures of her sticky notes that she puts on her mirror.
Mhm.
And it's been really making me smile. I'll like wake up to like a message with a picture of her affirmations for the day and things like that. And I think just speaking things even before they happen as if they've already are happening, like I'm in the best shape of my life. I am in my dream body and, I'm achieving this goal. Whatever it is, like if you want to be a pro, I am an IFBB pro. Speaking it into existence, getting that visualization and really making sure that, when you look at yourself every day in the mirror, you're visualizing that. So
Mhm. I think too, just with that, sometimes I struggle with saying things like I'm a pro, like I am an IFBB pro, because I just feel like I'm not. And then I feel like I'm not going to believe that. But I train like a pro. I eat like a pro. I prep like a pro. I will be a pro. Those types of things too, like tell yourself that you are like super tough
yes,
and you do the hard work.
I like that too because, there's some NPC amateurs that work harder than IFBB pros, and it's like
Yeah.
you, yeah, you have the habits, like the qualities of a pro, and saying those things, I think is great.
Mhm.
That's a great way to chunk it down too, so it doesn't sound like you almost can't convince yourself that you are a pro. You know what I mean? But like you're saying, like, hey, I do this habit like a pro. I do this habit like a pro. I love that. Really good advice. All right, challenge number 3 is get used to discomfort and low calories, high cardio posing fatigue, whatever it is, embrace it all. Remind yourself this is supposed to be hard and have that expectation going into it. Discomfort does equal growth and, chase those hard parts. Don't avoid them. Tackle them head on and be proud of them that you're doing this, that, there aren't very many people that make these kind of elite decisions, and you're one of those elite that are choosing to do this. So yeah,
One thing that I learned in my last prep and that I've passed on to some of my competitors is to make peace with hunger and to just relax and accept it and be okay with it. And know, especially if you have a good coach, know that you're going to be okay. We're tracking everything. We're making sure that all your health markers are okay. Your health is going to be okay. And I think something that, at least with me, when I start getting hungry, I find myself getting a little bit panicked and a little anxious. And if I can just take a big deep breath and just kind of make peace with the hunger, it really has helped me just relax and move on. And it's okay to be hungry. Just accept it. That's fine.
yeah, yeah. Embrace it. All right.
So
You want to take number
challenge,
4?
yeah, challenge number 4, taking souls. So prep application, when people expect you to quit, fade, or when they say you're doing too much, use that as fuel. Show up leaner, stronger, and more composed. Out train, out diet, out pose. Make them question their own excuses. And I love that phrase because when people say you're doing too much, it's really a reflection of their own mindset towards their own training, nutrition, health journey. And they see you doing more than they're willing to do. And that makes them feel bad. So they're going to project that onto you. Your goals are not their goals, and you can use that to just change your perspective and keep pushing. It can be frustrating when people come at you with like it's too much, but I've actually found that when I'm on prep, A lot of people, I mean, there are some people that don't understand what a bodybuilding prep is, and it is very extreme, but I can actually use that to be like, yes, what I'm doing is extreme, but I'm competing. I'm in a prep for a competition. This is not me every single day. But at the same time, when I'm in my off season, I go just as hard. And we find joy in training hard, in being very disciplined, in tracking everything that we eat, in doing hours of cardio a week. Like that is what brings us joy as competitors. So make people question their own excuses. Show them the results of the work that you do and make them understand what it takes to show up looking like we do on stage.
Yeah, I feel like anytime you're around people that don't have that same like lifestyle, they like basically think it's weird. I'm like proud of the fact that I'm weird sometimes. I'm like, yeah, this is my weird. I'm like, yeah, I'm saying no to that cookie. Like I just I feel proud of it. I like to be like unique and so I think like own it
Mhm.
and just embrace it and go from there. Like you said, use it as fuel to really just like fuel your fire
Mhm.
about
And
like,
in a
hey,
world,
I'm
in
working.
a world of instant gratification, like in a
Yeah,
world of promising like diet pills or 30-day weight loss trends and like fast, easy stuff, like let's show everyone what it actually takes to
yeah,
be extremely fit and healthy.
yeah. And it's that's so true because so many people will like ask you like, oh, what kind of diet do I need to follow? What do I need to do? Like, oh, you must like have these great exercises or something. And I just like to show people in my daily actions and surprise people, like be
Mhm.
like, hey, this is what I'm eating. Like, I don't care, like that it's different. I'll be on these volleyball trips and people are eating all kinds of stuff because we're like doing dinners and people are at the games all day long and they'll just kind of like see what I'm eating and I just think it's fun to kind of like show people like, hey, yeah, I'm a little like off the cuff, but like this is what I am, and like I
Mhm.
embrace that. That's me, and it's not you, and I don't judge you. And so I honestly don't care if they do judge me because I like
Yeah.
being different. I like
Yeah.
having
And
like a
I love it.
different thing that I'm doing than other
It's
people.
controversial right now. I feel
Yeah,
like if I scroll through my Instagram feed, there's just reel after reel after reel, post after post after post of people trying to make health and fitness look easy and convenient.
yeah,
Not. It's not
no,
easy and it's not convenient. It's not
no,
fun and it's not like like it's not there's not variety. It's basic, it's simple, it's boring,
yes.
it's consistency day in and day
It's novel. It's not novelty.
not novelty.
Yeah. I have people ask me there's all these TikTok trends. There's one that's called like, I'm gonna totally butcher the numbers, but it's like 4-2-12, and it's like so many minutes on like a stair climber, like so many days a week, and like blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, like you don't understand. There's not just like some formula that you follow that is gonna get you the results. Like it's the consistent millions of actions and consistency, boring vanilla things that, you know, are hard to do in the shadows. And those are the people that show up the best, are the people that can just do things when they're not around other people. And the decisions that they make really like show who that person truly is from those daily choices. You're the product of whatever your choices are. So make them good ones. Challenge number 5 is visualize success. And I think visualizing yourself on stage, I think is always a good thing, especially in the grind of prep when you're a little bit tired and you may not have. I mean, I just remember like several times, going to shows and wanting like an athlete to like practice on the stage and blah, blah, blah. And they're just so tired and stuff. So, as an alternative, I'll have them just like visualize in their head, you know, nailing the routine perfectly. They've practiced it a million times at this point, like visualizing in their head, them nailing it, visualizing themselves like grabbing that trophy, like doing the victory stance, whatever it is. Um, so I don't know if have you done any like research or like listened to Dr. Joe Dispenza?
Hmm.
Okay, so he has a really big thing about like like your different types of brain waves. And first thing in the morning, you have, I believe they're called the alpha brain waves, where your mind is like more open in like the last hour before bed. So, like, for example, if you're watching TV at that time, your brain is like very susceptible from your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, and things will kind of like flow into your subconscious mind during that time. So he recommends like before, you pick up your phone first thing in the morning, when you do have those types of brain waves where your brain is open to seeing things, and at the end of the day as well, do like a visualization meditation where you're thinking good thoughts, feeling good emotions that are positive, that the things that you want to put into your subconscious mind so that it comes out. And I know that's like super deep on this application of visualization, but he's like the master of visualization. Some of the work that he's done, like things that people have succeeded in doing just by like using his tactics on meditation and things like that and visualization are top notch. So, you know, we can also visualize the fatigue, we can visualize the hunger, the stress, but you want to see yourself thriving through those hard times. So make sure that the rehearsal part of your prep, make it like a rehearsal, like you're training to be a pro athlete, like that whatever that pro athlete would do, like visualize those things, even if it's grindy. No, like, okay, this is the choice they would make,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
just food for thought.
I love the idea of visualizing being on the stage too, in front of the judges. I think I've never struggled with this because I feel like just from what I did, I used to work in the entertainment industry. So I worked through my stage fright for years and years and years before I even competed in bodybuilding because I
Yeah.
was in the music industry. And so I worked through a lot of that. So I'm very comfortable on the stage and I love it. I love the lights, I love the stage. But if this is kind of your first experience on a stage and that makes you nervous, I would practice almost daily, practice visualizing standing on the steps, walking out on, seeing the lights shining on you, seeing the judges, kind of feeling the music, feeling the stage under your heels, going through those poses, the sparkles, the lights, and like visualize that, visualize nailing your routine over and over and over and over again and just practice that in your head. I think that will help you on stage day as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so challenge number 6, the cookie jar. The prep application for this. Okay, so fill your quote unquote cookie jar with every challenge you've conquered. So it's kind of like your jar full of trophies or successes. So past preps, if you've done it, PRs in the gym or with cardio, stage wins if you've competed before and you have those medals, sticking to your diet on vacation or on a night out or celebrating or maybe in a holiday, pushing through an injury or hormonal changes. So things like struggling with a low thyroid after prep or going through menopause or getting injured and still figuring out a way to do your cardio or do your training. And then in tough moments, mentally reach into that jar and remember you've done hard things before. You can do this now.
Yeah, and read through those. And that's showing you proof that because you have it written down and you're seeing these tangible things that have stacked up over time that you've done, that you've overcome before. And so you can do it again. Very good. So, challenge number 7 from his book is remove the governor. And the governor is that voice that kind of talks to you like, I'm too tired. I've done enough.
Mhm,
One bite won't matter. That's your governor. You need
mhm.
to shut it down. Shut down the governor. Find
Yeah.
your like edge and workouts, your cardio, your posing. Go like 5 to 10% beyond what you think is your limit. And that's where that elite athlete lives. And like I was saying before, most of us have only reached 40% of our potential, and that's just insane to me. I mean, you can do a little bit more. And even if it's just like a small amount. I remember when I was one time I was trying to get like more and more steps like every week, and I mean, even if it was going to be like 100 more steps or whatever, but like I just wanted to do a little bit more. By the time I got to the end of it, I was at like 22,000, because each week and each day I would try to get a little bit more, a little bit more, and it just built up over time. So by the time I was, you know, at the end of prep, I was at 22,000 steps pretty much daily. And I had figured it out, but like I don't think I could have gone from like 8,000 to 22,000 very easily if I wasn't like really just pushing every day to just do a little bit more, just do a little bit more. That's what I kept telling myself.
Yeah. I love that he calls it the governor. When I did, I used to do 75 hard almost like yearly. And Andy Frisella, who is like the author of 75 Hard, this challenge, he calls it your, I can't say it on this podcast, but your B word voice in your head. And once I kind of grasped that, it kind of gave the doubts and the discomfort, the arguing with myself, it gave that a personality, and then it made me mad. And as soon as I start arguing with myself, I get mad and I get kind of rebellious and I want to push through and do more. Like you adding 100 steps a day. Even this morning, I still struggle with the governor or the B word voice. Like I was arguing with myself because I didn't want to go on my run. And maybe for you, it's cardio or the gym or going to bed without eating another meal, sticking to your macros, whatever that is.
Mine's the bites at night. I'm like, oh, just one more like little thing won't hurt. Go ahead.
Exactly. If you give that a personality, like a separate, like separate from you, and then it like makes you rebellious and makes you want to be the winner in like the little arm wrestle in your head between you and the governor or the B word voice
Yeah.
in your head, you can do better. And as soon as I start arguing with myself, as soon as I can recognize what I'm actually doing, I'm like, nope, stop right now, shut it down. You're doing it. You're stronger than this.
Yeah.
So, challenge number 8, schedule and execute. This is huge for a prep. You need to plan every hour of your day. When are you going to train? When are you going to eat your meals? When are you doing your cardio? It's like you don't want to do them in the wrong time, but you also want to be able to fit them all in. So I just had a client that I needed to rearrange her training and cardio because she was struggling with low energy levels in her training. And I found out that she was doing her cardio first. And so we had to flip
Mm.
those. Put all your energy into your training, 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 training. Space out your meals around where you need that energy and then fit your cardio in later. Where are you going to rest? Where are you going to recover? Be very precise and don't waste time. So we mentioned before being on your phone, like be aware of wasting time. Track where you lose time, tighten it up. You have way more time than you think you have in a day, and you can't, like, even you getting up to 22,000 steps in a day, that is a lot of time. We need to be super precise with our time, and that's going to eliminate decision fatigue because we won't even have time to argue with ourselves. We have to get our training in. And then it maximizes discipline because it takes out that choice and we are just structured and we're executing day after day.
Yeah, and I think a time audit is really important. Just
Mhm.
really just do an audit of your full week. Like this is how much time I'm spending doing this. These are the hours that I have to do this. And then kind of look at the stuff that's like non-negotiables, like your job and things that you have to do for like your family or whatever. Um, and like your important parts of prep. And then I'm sure you're probably going to find some areas where you're sitting down watching TV or, you're scrolling on Instagram or like watching TikTok or like
Yep.
YouTube, which I mean, if you're going to do those things, maybe pair them up with like cardio if you're going to watch YouTube or something like that. But think about how you can be more efficient with your time in that. So, like, if there are things that bring you joy, how can I put that together? Like, I like to read at night, so I pair it with foam rolling. I need to do recovery anyways, right? So, kind of like think about those ways that you can still do that. And maybe, like watching YouTube will help you get your cardio done, but you won't be just sitting there watching YouTube. You're getting both done at the same time. So, think about those things that are like pleasurable to you, that are non-negotiables, and then figure out how to make that work. But I think being prepared, doing it ahead of time is the most important thing. Okay, number 9. This is our second to last one. We've got 10. So, uncommon amongst uncommon. So, lots of competitors train and eat well, but you're aiming to be the next level. So, go deeper, pose longer, prep harder, recover smarter, do the little things that most won't. That's where the winners separate themselves. And I think we all know that what we do as bodybuilders is uncommon. So, that's what I'm hearing this, challenge from David Goggins say is that we need to be uncommon amongst the uncommoners because of that, like 1% of whatever population we are with bodybuilding. We want to be even better than that. So set yourself apart by your work ethic and how you show up for yourself. And, every prep you should be better than the last one because you've put more into it each time and improved.
I love that. Okay, challenge number 10, write your own book. So document your prep like it's your personal transformation story because it is. Write down how this journey is shaping you, what you're learning, how you're leveling up, how you are being better than your last prep. Then decide, how does the next chapter go, and let your actions write it. I love this too. I think of it as like be the star of your own movie. Like you are the star. Literally, your whole life is about you, and you are the lead character in your life. So you get to decide. You're also the author of it. So you get to think up, you get to imagine how the plot's going to go, and then you get to act it out. And when you act it out, when you just start doing the things, you become the character. And so like
Absolutely.
I always think like be the girl that you want to be in your head. Like be the fit girl, be the IFBB pro, be the competitor, be the girl that you want in your head. Who is she? What does she do? Start doing those things daily. Be the star of your own story.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's a great way to end. I just, I think these are great key points that he has in the book. And yeah, so
Love it.
do you have anything to close out on about this episode or any
I
thoughts?
would say if you're in prep right now or anticipating your prep, leave us a comment or tell us on Instagram which one of these really stood out to you and how you're going to apply it to your own prep and give us a little feedback.
I love that. Yeah, you can find us on Instagram at Prep Life Podcast or at Glam Girl Bikini. And if you would like to apply for coaching with Lee Marie or myself, you can go to glamgirlbikini.com and hit the get started button. Thanks for listening, guys.